All right, Dad, tell us some stuff.
Oh, stop sign.
Stop sign.
Stop sign.
Straight ahead.
Okay. So what was that? You used to work back there?
Collis Company.
What was that?
They made refrigeration shelves, and they had tanks where they chromed them, or what do you call it?
Somebody left those shelves out there.
They had big things, big vats of stuff. They put it down there and electrically charged it.
Oh yeah, did chrome plating.
Chrome plating. I brought some of my car parts over there and had them chrome plated.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Turn left at the stop sign.
It's good you can see what you're doing. Or kind of. Yeah, it's working better now.
Now we're going by the next place I worked at is
Turn left here?
turn left here, yeah.
Okay.
Next place is Clinton Corn Processing.
Where's that at?
It's coming up through here on the right.
Those are good mints, but they don't last long.
They don't last long, no, they're gone.
Need to go to a mint buffet to get your fill.
This is the Miracle Mile right here in Clinton. Shirley built a sign there. It cost, they gave her $100 and some to her painting a sign on it. Early bird. She had early birds on it and had the times for coming and going. She painted a great big sign. It took her weeks to do it, and she made $120.
Oh wow. I wonder if that's anywhere. I don't think I've ever heard that story.
Yeah, she painted a big sign, advertising sign. Early bird warning. Come in early and get your car done early. See Clinton Corn ahead. You see all them big silos? Those are corn silos. They put them full of corn, and then they soak them with water, and then they drain the water off, and the water goes to different chemical companies to make aspirins. They sell carloads of water. It's called drain water, or water from the corn. They drain the corn for 24 hours, then they drain all the water out. Then they put the corn through a process of cracking it, taking the seed out of the middle of it, and using the rest of it for feed. It's a processing plant. There's 101 products out of a kernel of corn. Right here at this little place right here on the right. They grind about 140,000 bushel a day. Right in those silos. Each one of those silos they're full of corn with water.
Huh.
Then the corn goes through a process of going through the different systems to take the oil out. I worked in the feed part of it. I worked in the sugar place where we made sugar out of corn. I worked in the lactic acid part where they make lactic acid. Then they have an oil process there.
Have you talked to Joyce? She just tried to call me.
They have an alcohol plant. They make alcohol, 190 proof alcohol.
Hey Joyce, I saw I missed your call.
190 proof alcohol,
Jay.
and they get $29 a gallon.
Jonathan.
Wow.
They get $29 a gallon for tax, U.S. government tax on a gallon of whiskey, 190 proof, and then they cut it after they get to the place they're going to sell it to.
What's this big gold thing up here?
20.
That's full of corn. That's full of
23
coal.
Gunnison Way sounds familiar.
That's
but I don't know
coal.
if
The coal
that's
is going up
Cedar
that chute
Rapids or-
into different boilers. That's a generating plant. That's a generation plant. They're generating their own electricity.
That might be Tennessee.
Oh, and that gold dome?
I haven't
That's
lived
a
too many
coal. That's a
places.
coal storage right there. It's full of coal.
Why do they make it gold?
I don't know. It's a gold mine.
I know those apartments up on the hill there, off the interstate. Yeah.
Over there's where I worked at the starch plant. That's at the north end of Clinton Corn Processing. That's the last place. I worked there for 15 years, and I worked at the other end place 3 years. Feed house, sugar house, lactic acid plant. I worked 3 shifts. Every 2 weeks we change shifts.
That's in Cedar Rapids? Yeah, I've only lived in one place in Cedar Rapids. And that'd be the one off the Glass Road.
I worked at I lived at Sunshine Mission in Cedar Rapids for 4 years. From the time I was born to the time I was 4.
Probably, yeah, because I transferred from there to Tennessee. Back and forth. Yeah.
In 1934, we moved to Fulton from Cedar Rapids, my mother and I. My mother married Clarence Pease. I lived in Fulton for the next 15 years, until I was 20.
Yeah? Oh, no. Well, there's a lot of Steve Johnsons out there. Yeah. Yeah.
I grew up in Fulton, Illinois.
Huh. What's it from?
That's an hour and 20
Turn
minutes.
right at the light. That'll take you to Fulton.
Hey, Dad, we're going over the bridge.
Okay, going over this bridge was flooded in 1965. They had the flood, the Mississippi River overflowed, and there was fish all in this field here. And they stayed there for weeks and months. They stunk the whole place up. After the river went down, the fish went into the pockets of the low place.
Too bad you didn't have video go this way and that way.
Turn left up here to go to our place.
Turn left?
Left.
Okay.
Or else you can go up to the next stop and turn left.
This is the way we went the other day.
Okay.
We came over this road right here. This is 84. We came over this road and the water was coming over the road as we were going out from the flood of 1965. When the flood was over, our house was in 8 foot of water. Wow. Right up to the ceiling. Of 1965. This road, a lot of this road washed away with the flood. They had to rebuild the roads. They rebuilt the dams to hold the water back. We were out of our house for about, March, April, May, about 2.5 months. Then we came back in the house. There was water still in the basement, and we had to wait till the water went down, till the water went out of the basement. But we had to redo our whole house. We had to tear all the walls out, put in new insulation, put up new wallboard. That was 1965. That's when Danny, our little boy, he was diagnosed with acute leukemia. So we had our trials there. There's still water there. And turn up here. There's
right here?
Yeah, this is the first spot. Because there's the house, those 2 places right there.
That's 2 houses we owned. Those are the 2 houses right there we owned at one time. We sold both of those and we bought a 1985 luxury van. Turn left or right.
what these houses would cost now. Buy one of our old houses. Every time we visit, we come
See,
back
I
and
paid
stay in it.
$11,000 for this house, and I sold it for $35,000.
This brown one. This is the house.
This
we
brown
grew
one
up
right
in.
here. That's the one we lived in. That's one of them.
I remember that one, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the one where that picture was taken with the wheelbarrow and the vegetables and all that.
Yep, that's it. That's right there where it was.
And I was 5 in there.
And our first house was right here. This house right here.
This blue one?
This right here, right here. This
Oh,
one
this
here,
white
right
one.
here.
That's a pretty house.
That was the first one.
First house we bought.
I thought you owned that one.
No, that was Klooster's house.
Oh.
So this house right here. We had a
Yeah.
garage and 2 lots in a 2-bedroom house for $4,350. I borrowed $2,500 from the mayor, Jerry Hill. As he helped me buy the house. Then he sold me the loaned me the $2,500 for 4% interest.
Making you eat?
I guess.
You turn right here if you want.
Okay. Do we need to go the other direction?
Well, this
Well, you can go where he grew up.
Okay, well, you go around and go back the same road? Is that where it's at?
no, that's all right. Just keep it rolling.
Go straight?
The Littles used to live right here in this corner, and there's no house there now. I lived right there in a foster home right there. Now, Tim's friend lived right here in this house on the left. Yeah, you go clear around the neighborhood. This is the neighborhood I grew up in.
Turn right here. That's the end.
Yeah, turn right here.
Gosh, I can't see.
And Joyce will be lucky to make it here by 3.
Well, it doesn't start till 4.
Keep going right. Keep going straight.
That was the junkyard you were in?
Yeah, that's a junkyard right there. No, not that I was in. That was another junkyard.
This right here is where you grew up, right? This is where your house
These
was
2
at.
lots right here where there's nothing on, these belong to us. There was a house here. I sold the house and everything there for $1,500.
I like that tractor.
And that helped Grandma have her funeral reserved. Yeah, we had a house right there. We had 2 lots right there. And I sold it to the Grahams right there. These people right here. These people right there. I lived right there in that little house.
What do those stars mean on the houses, Dad?
I have no idea.
Nobody does.
This house was built clear out here by the road, and we had to cut part of it off. Let's keep it in the boundary lines. Your girlfriend lived right here, Jimmy, in this house. The one you run right across the street with to see all the time.
I don't remember who you're talking about.
She was a little girl. You and her were just like every day you see each other. You don't remember that. You were too little, but you had a girlfriend.
I remember Sherry Slater. She was my girlfriend in kindergarten.
It must have been about that time, because Stevie, I think, was born when we were here.
Holy guacamole, man. This power is sucked out of this thing, burning.
Well, these houses are a lot better than they were when I was here.
I was trying to process it in
You
code.
go straight.
Okay.
Now this house here, I lived in this house when one of the times I was in foster care. That house right on the corner. Charlie Rimmery lived right there. He had 12 kids.
12
At
kids.
the end, they had to take his stomach out and they put a goat stomach in him. He had a goat stomach.
Oh my goodness.
I sold 10 lots to this guy right here that's got this hotel. When we moved, he wanted the lots on the highway there, so I sold him the 10 lots for $4,500. $4,500.
They don't look like you used them for anything.
Yeah, there's 2 houses on it.
Oh, okay. Because there's still a lot of open land behind the house.
Yeah, still a lot of open land there. That's all his. Here's where Roy Van Campen lived, right there, in the right. I was thinking, Stevie, a flagpole like you're wanting wouldn't cost you hardly anything if you wanted to put it up yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, just
right here's where Morris and Reedy lived for several years, right here in this corner, right there.
Well, somebody lives in there now.
They rented this house here for 2 years.
I stopped there last time I was here. I couldn't remember who it was that lived there.
I'll go straight. And I'll show you where I was brought up. Turn left right here at this, right here.
Turn left or right?
Left. Oh, there's no road there now. There's no road there.
I was gonna say there is.
Right
kind
there's
of
where the Rogers lived. Right there in that house,
a-
right there at the left. That's where the Rogers lived. And I lived right next door to him, right there by the other side of that chicken coop.
Well, there's a little house there.
There's a little house there, and that's where I lived.
Holy cow.
Looks like a shed.
It's a shed. Yeah, it was a shed. And she had her cow and her pigs right down here in this little lot right here at the right. Now there's houses down there. And there was houses here. There was rental houses.
It's all grass in that alley now, Dad.
Yeah, I see that.
And there's a dumpster right in front of it.
They don't want anybody going through there, I guess.
Yeah.
Right there's where the Baileys lived, and that's who we rented from for $5 a month. $5 a month. That was back in the 40s. And I used to mow this grass here about once a month with a push mower for $1. $1, that whole lot there.
Wow.
I mowed all that with a push mower for $1.
Bet you they'd let you do it again for $1.
I bet they would. A lot like that probably be at $20 now. But the greenhouses we were talking about are right up here where they used to be.
Huh.
This here's where Ray Dykehausen lived, and that was the first foster home that I was in, right here, where they lived right here. But they didn't live there. They lived over the other place where I told you. Turn right here. If you can see to get out here. Now there was greenhouses right here on the right. There must have been 4 or 5 greenhouses that were a block long.
Yeah, I remember those.
And I threw the rocks up in the air and they broke the windows out of the top of the greenhouses. And they had a big boiler here to heat up the greenhouses. Now, if you go straight ahead, you go to 15th Avenue.
Okay.
This is the way I went to school every day, on this road. Shirley and I walked this way to school every day.
That's a distance from here, isn't it?
Well, it was quite a ways to walk in the
Fulton
middle of
High
the winter.
School?
There used to be a great big factory right here. It was called J.T. Cullen Factory.
Fulton High School, right?
Fulton High School, yeah.
Yeah, that is a little ways from here.
Well, we went to the grade school. That was further up the street.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's
Turn
a
left
hike.
here.
That's a hike.
Wasn't there a gas station or something right here that
Right on the left here was a gas station. Right here. Right here where this place is at.
Did you
right
work
here.
there?
Right here. Yeah.
That's a nice car.
Ford Falcon or something.
See that depot right there? That's where I worked, out of that depot right there, when I was 15 years old. We rode up and down the Milwaukee track. I did that for 3 months every year until I was 20. So I had a summer job every summer, riding on the Milwaukee hand car. And right there is the street lights I used to break out, right on that corner. See that corner right there? There was a big pole there with a street light on, and I always broke that street light out. I don't know why I did, but I did. That was the last street light before you went home. You can turn right here to go to the high school.
Yeah.
Now see, a flagpole like
That's
that,
not too
Jim,
far away.
wouldn't be much at all.
No.
Yeah. Well, I got a steel pipe in the dirt already, but it
Oh,
just
yeah.
doesn't have the up and down and the right ropes to make a flag work.
Now, I helped build this school here in 1950. I worked for Jorgensen Construction Company. That's where the 2x4 that was thrown off on the second floor of the school that they were tearing down, it hit me on the head, and we didn't have any helmets on. I had 7 stitches on top of my head. It's the one that didn't kill me.
Man.
He threw a 10-foot 2x4 off the top of the building.
Oh, goodness.
And I was under the building cleaning up lumber. And that 2x4 come down and hit me right on top of the head.
Well, that back then 2x4s were actually 2x4.
It was 2x4s. That hit me and bounced off.
Now they're 1.5
They
by.
took me to the doctor, put 7 stitches in my head, and I went back to work the next day.
This is where Timmy did all his running, isn't it?
There's the football field that I played on for 4 years.
Really? That's the football field.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that far away then.
Well, let's get out and let Dad tell us about the football field.
Okay. Well, too bad we couldn't get out there and walk
That's the
around.
track I run on. We won more trophies in track than any other school. That's mine. Hello.
Okay.
I run 4 years on this football field. I run 4 years on this track. I have the record in the 200-yard low
Well,
hurdles.
stand out here. And you can talk to Steve. And then you can go back and forth from the...
Yeah, running this football field for freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. We run the track. We won every record you could think of right here on this track. I run the 200-yard low hurdles. I had the record for the broad jump, 22 feet. Had a lot of running in that field. I'd come out here and run this field about 20 times in one day just for conditioning. Take me a couple hours just to run 20 laps. We'd do wind sprints in between the running. The only way I'd be good is to be in perfect condition.
Did you drink a lot of water when you did that?
Didn't drink any water. And in football, we never drank any water. We didn't drink water like they do now. It really was something. If we drank water, it was a little bit at halftime.
Guess you don't think about that when you're.
When you're playing, you don't think about that, no. Then when I started playing golf, I'd put a lot of golf balls on one end of the field and shoot them to the other end of the field. I practiced my golf here, too.
Oh.
That's 120 yards from one end to the other to the back of the goal post. So I hit a 9-iron or a pitching wedge 120 yards. You can't do that anymore. They got everything locked up. You can't get in there.
Yeah. Well, unless they have the other doors open on the other side of the school, they might let us in.
Well, they'd let you in the school.
Well, they might let us on the field, maybe. You reckon they might have any pictures or trophies inside?
I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know.
They might have pictures of you in there, Dad.
I doubt that.
You don't know until you get in there. They got pictures of kids from the year I graduated and all the stuff they did in our high school.
Well, we haven't got that much time, Steve.
No. We can walk around.
I don't even know what that building is. That wasn't there when Shirley was in high school. I told her that they filled up her running. They had exercise classes then. That's when I met her.
Yeah?
I seen her out there exercising in that field right there. That was in 1950, 53. 53, 54.
So where's the actual high school then? It's an
That's it
add-on.
down there. And this year has been added on since.
Oh, I see. So it was just that little building right there.
That building
in the
up
end
there, that was all it was. That's where I helped build that building up there. 1950.
Laying brick?
Made brick. They got the gymnasium and everything is up that end. Unless they build a new gym here, I'm not sure if they might have. I'm not sure.
I bet they did.
Probably that for bigger seating capacity. I bet that's what it is. It's right near the football field and the athletic field.
Yeah, it's probably a basketball court.
Because Fulton has a fantastic basketball following.
It'd be nice to come down here during school season and watch some games.
Well,
Or
that's what
Some football and maybe some basketball.
If you did that, if you lived down here for a season, that'd
Yeah,
be it.
we'll come down here for a weekend. They have games on Friday nights.
Yeah. You'd have to find out if they're here or there.
Yeah, schedule that. That wouldn't be no big deal.
No.
Football's in the what? In the fall,
Yeah.
right? For
September.
high school too.
September and October.
High school the same as college then, kinda.
They have 9 games, so they start in what? August, September, and September, October. So the September and October is when they play most of their games.
That's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. That's 65 years ago, Steve.
Mhm.
So that school is 65 years old. Already 65 years old.
Mhm.
But the other school was up on the hill where I graduated from. That's the one they tore down.
You want to walk on down here?
I don't know.
It's kinda far.
We don't need to walk anywhere. We got to get ready to go up there.
Yeah. It's 1:30.
Yeah. We should get up there a little early.
Yeah.
We got to go buy some food too.
Yeah.
We got to bring something there.
You think?
That's what we all do.
Yeah,
Everybody
we're supposed
does.
to.
I don't think I'll buy a watermelon or something.
Well, then somebody's got to cut it up if you do that.
That's all right.
That's a lot of work cutting up a watermelon.
They got a great big kitchen there, Jen. They got a great big kitchen that they do all the setting and things up.
Then you have to have a bowl to put it in.
You know, that's all right. They got them.
You think?
Yeah.
Watermelons are heavy.
I know. That's all right, Steve. We can put it in the car.
Bring in something light like chips.
There'll be plenty of them.
People like chips. Buy some chocolate. People love chocolate.
Here's the bus garage, where all the buses are at. They bus in the kids from about 10 miles away in the farming area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 buses. I wonder what the taxes are now and what they were when I lived in Little Oak. There wasn't hardly nothing there when I lived in Little Oak. Couldn't believe it. Now we're paying what? $1,400 a year. I am. You're paying about $700.
For taxes?
You are.
900.
$900. Oh,
Mhm.
Still recording?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. $904.
Well, your house is worth more than mine then.
You're paying city and county.
That's
I'm
insurance.
paying city and
That's
county.
insurance. That's not taxes. My taxes, I think, are $1,200.
That's $100 a month.
I think it's about $1,200, maybe $1,100 and something. My insurance is $904.
Okay.
My taxes are like, I think $1,200, $1,100 maybe.
Oh, they should be lower than that because I'm paying
It might be.
about
So this-
$700.
Maybe it's $1,040, $1,050.
So this is the school, huh, Pops?
That's the school up there with the top one. This here's a new gymnasium, I think.
Is this where you got whacked with the 2x4?
That's no, this is not it. This is I got whacked up on the hill on the other school that they were tearing down.
Oh, okay. We'll have to drive around
I
there.
poured a lot of cement in this one right here. I worked for O.J. Jurgensen when I was 1950 before I went in the Navy.
Wow.
And then when I got out of the Navy, I went right back to Jurgensen and got a job with him again. I said, I just got out of the service and you're supposed to hire the guy that left. And I'm just getting back from the service. Do you have a job for me? He said, I sure do. He says, you go to work tomorrow. So I worked for him for a while until he was through with his projects.
That's awesome.
Then I went to work for Collis's for a year or two. Then I went to work for Clinton Corn Processing for 18 years. I worked at Clinton Corn Processing for 18 years.
Did every job get better?
They
Like
got
more,
better.
more
They
money?
paid, they paid better, yeah.
Yeah.
When I
'Cause
went
I've
to
only had a
Clinton
few
Corn, I knew every job there on,
I think
on
they've
the
gotten
starch
worse.
plant. So I had the top pay that I was in. Always got the top pay no matter what job I was on. So at the end, I was making a lot more than when I first started, $3 an hour.
Cool. I don't even know where the grade school's at.
They showed office hours,
It's
but
right up the top of the hill.
I didn't see the
Grade
sign.
school is?
Yep, it is now. Turn right at the stop sign. Another flagpole. A lot of flagpoles in this town. Man, they got them all
They do.
over.
They got a lot of them in Sterling too.
We need one too.
Yeah. Maybe we can get them at the same place.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having one.
Another one.
That's a nice one there.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a big flag.
Used to be a truck stop right there. There's Blossom's funeral home.
Eagle River Liquor. Super Wash.
That's some kind of restaurant right there.
Where do I go, Dad?
Down the stop sign, turn right.
Okay.
Dollar store's right down there in the valley, right down there.
There it
You
is,
see it.
Dollar General.
Dollar General.
See it?
Well, they got a whole bunch of flags right there.
Yeah, look at a lot of flags right there.
Must be American Legion or something.
It's Fulton flags, yeah.
The American flag's a pretty nice one there. Not too high and too big. Ooh.
That could be the VFW. I don't know what it is.
Oh my God. Just need to go in and get a plug.
That's the largest.
So what
part
did you
of the
do?
river.
You swam across this river?
And swam clear across it.
That's a big deal for 12-year-old.
All right, you're gonna tell me again because the camera wasn't on.
I swam across the Mississippi River when I was 12 years old. The fish were hitting my belly and everything.
Why did you do that? Just to see if you could do it?
I never thought about doing it, but I got out there. I said, I'm going to swim the river today. And I did.
Right over to Clinton.
Hey, on the Mississippi.
A lot of fish in that river. I'll tell you, they hit me all the way across.
Must have been something.
Yeah, really.
That's just
That
one
would
thing
freak
I
me
did
out.
as a daredevil.
I don't know what I'd do if I was out there.
I don't think any other kid did that.
You're probably
Crying
nibbling
across
that
there
guy.
had to be horrible.
But I was alone. There was nobody with me, or could have helped me or anything. I just dared myself to do it.
Asian style massage.
So probably some
When I wanted to do something, I went ahead and did it.
200-pound dude. Oh, Harry. It says Asian style massage.
That's about you on them bicycles, Jim. When you rode over them bicycles and jumped in the river.
They're
Oh,
not
yeah?
busy. They're not busy at all. Maybe they give you a discount.
Remember when you
Buy
went
one,
over
get
them
one free.
them humps and went into the river with your bikes?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Well, that's the same thing, same kind of daredevil I was.
Well, I didn't swim across a river.
I rode my bicycle on one
He's talking
wheel.
about ramps.
I would go clear home riding one wheel. Jack that thing up and run it on one wheel.
Wheeling. I could see you
That's a
doing
nice
that.
looking flagpole there.
I did a lot of crazy things. That's just some of them. I'd go to the movie over at the Strand Theater and sit in that movie for about 8 hours for 10 cents. I loved westerns. I'd go through 3 times. That movie would go around 3 times, and I'd sit through the whole thing.
Katie's mom dated the guy that owns all the super wash houses around this area, Nick Gardner. And he was putting up more back in '92.
Turn left.
There's Todd.
Where?
Oh, he's got his truck. He must have got it fixed.
Here's a little shade right here.
Little shade. Well, we don't turn it off yet because I gotta wait till this last thing processes, so we'll leave it running. There you go, videotape Todd.
Hey.
This isn't the look. Wow. Good to see you.
I seen that car over there, and that's yeah, finally got it going.
That's the one. Is that the one you drove last year?
Yeah,
Range.
that's the one where the windshield cracked.
Yeah.
I changed the windshield in the wife's car, in Sherry's car.
That's no fun doing it.
A week and a half later, the motor blew up.
Oh, brother.
So I didn't even get a chance to.
I wish my Ranger was running good. I think the fuel pump's going bad in it.
Oh, gee, 2 bolts and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is. I'm not
Why?
sure. It won't stay running. I go down the road, it wants to die. Stays running good on the idle.
When you give it gas, and
Then when I get going, it wants to. It don't want to stay going.
probably the fuel injectors might be bad.
It probably needs a tune-up.
I just put 400 into this just for the clutch.
Mine's an automatic.
I'd rather have this.
Yeah.
Go down the hill, it dies, and then I can just start it up. There, Jim not getting out.
There's a little bit more video to be transferred over on the computer, so he's got to leave the car running before he can shut it off. He's wanting to transfer everything over yet before.
From last year?
No, something he's doing for me. There's a memory chip.
This is
for
your car, then?
No, that's Wendy's.
Oh.
I wouldn't mind having a little thing like that.
I sat there and I looked at it over there. I said, man, that ain't down. Where's that? Because I was looking
those
for
teeth look good, man. You like them?
Yeah, I just can't eat with them. But
No, not yet.
a year later,
They look good.
I got to get some kind of a rubber thing to go up underneath.
A bumper?
Yeah. Is he going in, or you guys?
I guess he is. There ain't no telling what he's going to come out with because he can't see it very well. But
Uh-oh.
I thought that's a watermelon, but I don't know what it is.
He looks in good shape.
Yeah.
Island? Gerald something. What? Have you ever heard of a whole bunch of islands?
It's easier if you don't fight it. Really, it is. It's much easier if you don't fight it.
I wanted you to get at me at a good angle, so I had to like tilt my head down and then like turn it to the side for that good angle.
This is good stuff. Good stuff. And everybody's partying over here. Hard-working family members there, getting us set up. Set up for goodness. Da 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 da.
That's the hole. That's the hole. Who's got the most hot air in your family? Don't look at me.
Put that up there and blow it.
Not me.
Goodness. What's up, handsome?
Well, hi, James.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yep. Excited about another year. Here we go again.
I love your shirt.
It's all about living happy. That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
Makes life go a lot better. This is what a family reunion looks like. People showing pictures.
Thanks, honey.
The picture showers. And here's the other family.
James, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm fine. I thought you were bringing your wife this year.
No.
No.
It wasn't that we didn't want to. It was the fact that we just we didn't have enough room in the car. There we go. I'm adjusting the camera so I can get everybody in there. Hey! Hey, he's excited.
Try first. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? I missed last year. Didn't want to miss this year. She was going for the balloon. She stopped. Look how pretty this is out here. Wow, what do they do? Tear this whole thing down and start all over again. It's amazing. As we're walking through the star of the show.
What are you doing?
I'm recording for memories.
Recording memories of me licking my fingers?
Nah.
Well, I can do it.
We'll go viral on Facebook.
Yeah.
Could go viral.
Tangled up.
That's right. I didn't even see that. I couldn't do this. I didn't even do it.
What do you got in here? Silicone? This might take an hour and a half.
If you're running rail, it'd be full, wouldn't it?
You gotta get good stance.
Without anything sharp.
Because it's all about the speed at which you hit it.
So you get a body?
Todd looks like Body a female dog slam. waiting.
That's why he's holding the chair.
See, the guy needs to be in the front, the girl needs to be in the back. That's the way it should be.
Now you get this.
Really, I mean, it should be. Sure. It should be.
The next guy comes down.
That'd be more appropriate than the other way. See, everybody's supposed to have one up. This is called the chiropractor game. You were physically comfortable. I was physically comfortable.
What'd you lose?
You're next. Were you do John's next?
Who wants it next?
John.
John, you want yours braided next? Okay. And John, when I was younger, I used to be able to do cornrows.
I don't think there's enough things for cornrow.
He's already a little
Now it's gotten quiet.
Yeah, really.
They all went.
Sure seemed like it was bigger. All the way up there. What's going on? Must be a setting. It's got to be a setting.
Well, they sure made a nice place out of that thing.
Yeah, they did.
It was going to get married or not. She was making up her mind then, I guess. We were all waiting for about an hour and a half before the wedding started.
Must have been some good bubble bath, huh? You want to get out?
I guess Al and Chester, Al and Jim lived here. So Shirley was getting ready. She was getting all her flowers ready. She made all her own flowers for the wedding.
Huh.
She made her own wedding dress and everything.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
We were all waiting in the church. The whole church was full of people. When's the wedding going to start? So I called up. She's still in the bathtub. She's not ready yet. An hour and a half later, she got there.
So,
That was funny.
Hour and a half late.
That was in that little church right on the main dragon going through Albany. So she was about 12 miles away, still in the bathtub when the wedding was supposed to be going, or when it was supposed to be going on. This is the outskirts of Comanche.
I remember doing some lake jumping out here one time.
Princeton. The only place I remember is in Rock Falls.
Yeah, over by the hotel.
Princeton. Outside of Princeton, in a little cemetery.
Yeah, this is Princeton. It says Princeton right there.
It's up on the hill up there, and then it goes around to the back of the.
What, great grandma and grandpa?
No, my grandpa and grandma.
Yeah,
Your great grandpa. They got a plot back here in that cemetery.
They died before we were born.
Oh yeah.
How big is the cemetery? Pretty good size.
It's real old. It's probably
It wouldn't be too hard.
50 years old.
It wouldn't be too hard to find it, though, would it?
All you have to do is ask somebody where the cemetery is.
Well, yeah, but I mean the plots.
I don't know. You'd have to. It's an old cemetery. I don't even know if they got a
Oh,
headstone
look at
for
that
them.
barge.
Hmm?
Look at that barge.
Oh yeah.
It's called the River Road.
Wow. Transportation. That's interesting.
Now we're coming into LeClaire, I think, next.
So this is Princeton.
Yeah.
Remember that. Great grandma and great grandpa. Try to find it someday.
The town right across from LeClaire is Byron, Port Byron. On the other side of the river, the Illinois side. We got a few more miles to get to LeClaire yet. That's where where the television show originated from, is LeClaire, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says 5 miles.
There's a river. House is
What's
on
that?
the river.
It said 5 miles. The
Yeah.
sign says 5 miles.
5 more miles, yeah. The peat bottoms are down another 15 miles, that's right. Made my first nickel pulling onions when I was 6 years old. Spent my first nickel for a bottle of chocolate milk. First chocolate milk I ever seen.
Where was that at up here?
That's the peat bottoms on the other side here, going down toward Davenport. It's another 15 miles south. They had onion fields like you couldn't believe. Miles and miles of onions. That was in 1936. I made my first nickel. We slept in a boxcar for 2 nights. Pulled onions. That's the only job there was. The only jobs there was at that time, 1936.
Wow.
There was no jobs. That was right after the Depression. 1929 is the Depression. And it was scarce living clear up until the Second World War, 1941. Then everything opened up. We had ration cards. There was ration gas, sugar, and all your foods were a ration. You had a ration book. You go into the store and you'd have to give them so many ration stamps for the things you needed. Because most of the stuff went to the military.
Wow.
There was nothing there, nothing when I grew up. I had nothing. I had one toy if I was lucky. One toy. Christmas time, you got one toy.
What was your toy?
I think one of them was a fire engine. I think I got some dominoes, another one.
All right, we are in LeClaire.
We're on the outskirts of it.
Yeah. So that place is right off of this road right
Yeah,
here?
it's right on this road.
Yeah, you can see it from the road on the right.
It's right in back of another business, so I'll let you know where it's at. I think this is the city where Buffalo Bill was raised in.
Wow.
Bill Cody. This is the town he was raised in, I think.
Ooh, look at that. Corvette. Pretty one.
It's an old river town. Little city.
Antiques. Well, there are more antiques.
Hey, there's two churches in the same block.
Buffalo Bill Museum.
Is that a museum of Buffalo Bill?
That's what it said. It said Buffalo Bill Museum.
Yeah, that's it.
There it is. Yeah, there it is right there. Check it out.
Right in there. Yeah.
Hey. Oh, cool. No. Antique archaeology. Here we are. And what's this called? What's this town? How cool. Right here. Antique archaeology. Here we are.
Cost $30 to get in the museum? Wow. They're just existing. What they're doing, they're making okay. And that leaves David. He was not a drinker, and Raymond was not a drinker. Raymond had family. He must have had 6 kids. 3 boys and 3 girls. He worked at Clinton Corn before I did. Then he quit, and he couldn't get back on. So we moved up to Spooner, Wisconsin. I don't know why he moved up there, but he did.
Now, is there any kids left?
No, there's no kids left.
How many grandkids are left?
All of them are grandkids, yeah.
Like you're a grandkid, right?
That's right, I'm a grandkid.
So how many grandkids are left?
I think I'm the only one, as far as I know.
Who was the lady that was at the first one we went to?
That was Darlene. She passed away a year or two ago. That's the one that you got.
That was Faye's sister, right?
That's Mike's mother. Mike, the one you got signed up.
Mike Wolf.
Mike Wolf. So that was Darlene. That was the last living relative. And I think I'm the first grandchild.
So is Mike? Well, would Mike be a grandchild then?
I think he would, wouldn't he? He'd be a grandchild, yeah. Mike is a grandchild. That's right. Well, that was Darlene's son, the only son they had. And I was the only son my mother had. So there's two of us left, I guess. Two grandkids. Unless there's some from Dorothy's side, I'm not sure. But I'm the oldest one living yet. The oldest grandson living.
How fast are we supposed to be going? It's good. I'm only doing 50.
What are they doing?
I thought it was 45 when they have construction.
Well, I didn't see any signs.
Oh.
They're painting.
Wow. At night. They were always raised poor. The whole family was poorly raised. David worked at a junkyard all his life. Raymond, he worked at the golf course for quite a few years, went up in Spooner, Wisconsin, fixing golf carts and fixing machinery. So he did pretty good there. And Darlene owned a farm. Her and her husband owned a farm up in Macokota area. Let's see, who else would I know? David never had any wife or any relatives. He died up in Lyons, Iowa. He had some cousins or some other people helping him. Dick died in Spooner, and he drank himself to death. He was married once to a gal in Sterling. And let's see, Bill, he married a French girl. Bud, he lived with a woman for a while, but that was about it. Never had any kids, never. But Harry, he lived in California. He married a little Spanish girl. And they had foster kids. They raised foster kids and they adopted them as their kids. So they got two kids they adopted for sure. They had foster kids most of their life, 30 or 40 of them. They had them for long term. That's how they made their income. And he worked in an aluminum factory out in Los Angeles. Reynolds Aluminum, yeah. They moved from there to Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where her parents were from. So they went back to her hometown, Albuquerque. I went to be with him in his last couple years of his life to try to help him with his sugar diabetes. I was out there for a couple months helping Tina. Bring him to this hospital, to this nursing home, then back home after he got pretty well situated.
Well, that's who we went out and seen, right? We went out and seen them in Oregon.
Well, we went out in Oregon to see him, yeah. When he had a home up there in that farm up in the hills, in the mountains. Then from there, they moved from Oregon to Albuquerque. And they left their daughter Barbara in Washington. She's still there. Now Tracy just told me that they couldn't contact Tina anymore, so they don't know if she's living or if she's in a nursing home. And they don't know who to contact to find out about her demise, if she's still alive or is she gone. They don't know. How do you find that out? Nobody contacts you about anything.
Let me see. Don't you have the address somewhere?
I got her address. I called her on the phone. There's no answer. Tracy's going to try to find out and let me know. She's got 2 adopted daughters. I think one in Washington State and the other one in Los Angeles somewhere. But she has a beautiful house in Albuquerque, so those kids are going to get the house and the property. You guys are going to get our house and property, all 3 of you guys. The deed is in the cupboard in our bedroom. The deed is there. I'll let you see it if you want to see it. It's all paid for. How Tim's going to do. I hope it's getting better, but that's a long-term thing he's got.
Maybe not.
Maybe not, right? I hope. Yeah.
It'd be nice if something just pops him out of it, you know.
About 9 o'clock, it's getting dark.
9:10.
We'll get home a little after 10. 10:30 maybe.
The sky sure is pretty. Very, very hard working.
She is. She's got a good mind for business and everything too.
So you did a lot of moving when you was little, because you were way out. And, you talked about a lot of things I didn't even know about this trip.
What don't you know about me? I'll tell you.
Well, you said you lived in Comanche and
You know, I didn't know that. Like when you're little and you did a lot of moving.
Oh, you mean when I was little?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We moved about 4 or 5 times before we wound up in Fulton there, right by Mrs. Rogers. I think I was 9 years old when we was there. So I was there from 9 years old. I was there 10 years until I was 19, 20, 11 years. But I moved from Clinton. We started out in Fulton in a little one-room trailer in Little Oak. Then we went to Clinton. And when we went to Clinton, we lived in 2 places there. One down by the river, and then one over on that street I told you, but I can't think of the name of it. I lived in an upstairs apartment there, and I cut my finger when I cut almost my finger off with a razor blade that was laying on the shelf. I was cleaning the dust off in there, and I cut my finger off, the whole tip of my finger.
Ouch.
But you can still see the scar there. My mother wrapped a Band-Aid around it and said it would be okay. They had a parrot there. They had a parrot downstairs, and the people that rented our upstairs apartment. And it would talk to you every time you come in the house. I remember that. I was in kindergarten there, just about a half a block away from our house. Then from there we went back to Fulton, and I went into first grade. So I went to first, second, third, and fourth grade there until I got hit with that car. And at 9 years old, I started working in the bowling alley
Clinton.
in Lyons. The Oldsmobile garage there, right at the foot of the bridge, the old bridge. The Oldsmobile garage was right there, and they had the bowling alley right in front of the Oldsmobile garage. So it was part of the Oldsmobile franchise they had there. So I worked there every night from about 5 to 12. That's 7 hours. I made $1 to $1.50 a day there. When I was 9, that paid for my food, and I rode the bicycle over the bridge and hooked a ride on the back of a semi to go up over the bridge. I'd wait for a semi to come along, and I'd hook onto the back of the semi and pull me up the bridge. A lot of them I'd go right up 10th Avenue Hill there by the church, the Assembly of God Hill church, and they'd take me clear out to where I lived. Little Oak. They didn't even know I was on the back of their trucks a lot of times. I just hooked onto the back of it. From 9 years old on until I was 20, I paid my own way. Worked on the railroad when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 4 years there. Every summer I worked on the railroad, so it was 3 months. June, July, and August. So I had that 3 months of money that I had in my hand. That was mine for a whole year. That lasted a whole year, every year. I bought my shoes, my clothes, and helped my mother any way I could to supply the things I needed to go to school. Pay my own ring. And when I was 11, I got saved. And I went from, in school I was straight F's and D's before that. I got saved and I went from straight F's and D's to B's and A's in everything. So that tells you how God can change your destiny. From not caring about living or studying. And then I made, in football I made major letters 4 years, in basketball 4 years, and baseball too, softball. And with track, I was an all-star in track. Went to state 2 years in the low hurdles. I think I still hold the record there with the low hurdles. So I had a wonderful career in athletics.
Was that Fulton?
In Fulton, yeah, Fulton High School. From 1947 to 1950. 47, 48, 49, 50. That's 4 years. And I was planning on not even going to high school. But my principal in grade school said, "Cliff, just try it. Try it and see if you can make the team, or you'll really like it if you try it." So I tried it, and I never thought about quitting after that. I was going to work full time and trying to help my mother. He said, "Well, just try to go to school, get some education." I was 16, ready to quit. Start working. I've already been working 4 years on the railroad. I had a job I could have worked on the railroad full time. And I met Nancy in 1947 in the Clinton swimming pool. I was swimming around in the bottom of the swimming pool, and here this girl was out. She got away from the lifeguard stand, and she was out in the water drowning. Nancy was. She was drowning in the water, and I seen her. I was underwater swimming along the bottom of the pool. I seen her out there struggling to live, and I pushed her up and grabbed her and pulled her into the shallow water. So I saved her life that time. First time I ever met her.
Huh.
And that year, our freshman year, in the middle of the latter part of the year, we started going together. So I went with her from my freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. 4 years I went with her. I played ball with both of her brothers, softball. They played against the Harlem Globetrotters too. Both of her brothers, Bob and Dick. They were both excellent basketball players.
Are either of them around still?
Now they're both gone. There's only one left, and that's the youngest one. I think he's still alive. That's Bruce. He's the youngest boy, and Barbara's the youngest girl. Pauline is the oldest girl, and she's 95. She's in the Fulton nursing home. And before I went in the Navy, I had a full-time job with Newt Babbitt. That's her uncle. And he's a master carpenter, and he hired me as an apprentice carpenter. And I worked for him for 3 months. And I made more money with him than I did with anyone else that I worked for. So he wanted me to be a carpenter. He said he would teach me everything I knew when I got back from the Navy. So I had a good job promised me there. But it didn't work out. A lot of things don't work out. So I met the Harpers, Joe Harper. I met him when I was in the Navy, and he invited me to come over and have dinner with him. And I went over to his house. His mother took me in just like I was one of her kids. So when I got back from being at sea, I'd just stop over at the Harper's house, and they just made me one of their kids. So that was my outstation in the Navy. The rest of my career there, so I had a place to live.
Joe was the one we went and seen in Albuquerque.
That's
right?
the one, yeah.
Is he still around, or is he?
I don't know. He was alive the last time I knew, but he had sugar diabetes too. The last time I seen him was when I was out there with Harry. He was doing pretty good then. He was looking pretty good. He had quite a few kids too, and all of his kids have done real good. I haven't heard nothing from him for several years now. How long's it been since I went out to see Harry and be with him? That's been quite a while ago. 6, 7, 8 years maybe, I'm not sure. He was 92. I would say 6 years ago. I went out there with a little Ford four-cylinder and stayed out there for a couple months with him.
What? You went drove out there with the Escort?
I drove out there with that little Ford. I had that little Ford.
Yeah, the Ford Escort.
Yeah, I took my dog with me. So I had Tinkerbell. So she went with me.
Well, that had to be an interesting trip.
That was. I was out there quite a while, several weeks. Trying to take care of him. Trying to go to the hospital, and his sugar was down to nothing. They didn't even know it. I says, "You better get some people in here. This man is in shock." They all came in there, about half a dozen of them, and they were giving him shots. They put him on oxygen. He almost died. So you better take better care of him than this. Then we got him home. Then he failed again, and we took him to a nursing home. And they got him settled down for a while, and then after that, he even got out of the nursing home and came back home while I was there. So I tried to help get him regulated to get him back home. But he lived one more year after I left there. Then he died. He didn't like nothing that they had for him to eat. That's really discouraged him. When you have sugar diabetes, you just can't eat everything you want to eat.
Yeah.
If you do, you're going to suffer the consequences. You're going to either die or you're going to lose a limb. That's what happened to Bub right now. He's lost his leg, and he's never recovered. That's not the way to live. Feeding him with a tube, we don't even know if he's eating or not eating. He's just existing. But he wouldn't quit smoking. They told him not to, that would bring him down, and he went right ahead and did it again as soon as he got out of the hospital. Be in the hospital for a month, and he couldn't have a cigarette or nothing. When he'd get out, he'd go right back to buy 2 or 3 packs at a time and smoke cigarettes and do exactly the wrong thing every time. So now he's laying in the hospital bed, just existing.
That's what Mom said.
Jack still seemed to be doing pretty good. He's had a couple of terrific things happen to him. He had prostate cancer. They had to take his prostate out. Then he had cancer on his head. They had to take that off. And he's still working. He's still working at the YWCA. He works 20 hours a week, cleaning up. They all love him. Poor old guy. He's got his girlfriend. He sees her every day. They can't get married because she'll lose her housing that she has from I don't know what you call it, the home. You get your housing cheaper because of your income.
Yeah.
She don't want to lose that, so they decided not to get married, just to see each other. She's in worse shape than he is. Jack had 3 kids with his wife, and they've all been adopted out. And I don't think he's ever seen any of them after that.
And I remember Adam. And then twins, and I don't
Then the
remember their
twins,
names. What were the twins' names?
Yeah. We should have done something about that when we were there at that
No way of
time.
finding them, huh?
We could have probably got the kids if we knew what to do.
It'd be nice if we could find out where they're at or whatever.
Can't. We don't know where they're at.
That'd be something to know.
They're grown up by now.
Oh, sure they are.
But Jack will never see them, never know about them.
You know what the twins' names were?
I don't know offhand.
I mean, they could have changed their names first and last year.
I'm sure the people that adopted them did.
Because I know some kids that we have on the weekends sometimes, they're getting adopted out and they're changing their first and last name. Wow. Kids are.
But Bub, he got 9 kids. Bub has. From 2 women.
Without getting all of that foster care. Maybe if we got all of that, we might be able to do something.
He's got 4 boys by a second wife. He's got 1, 2, 3. I think he's got 5 kids by his first wife, so that's 9 kids he's got. I think his kids are all living yet. Raymond and I was just the same age. We were only a couple months apart in age. That's Tracy's dad.
Hard luck. It must work out.
He splat. He didn't splat, did he?
Oh, he bounced. So I'm saying he's on muscle.
I think Tracy had 5 or 6 kids. Her daughter's 2 grandkids were there at this time. 2 girls.
Yeah. They were there last time.
Were they there last year?
I think so, yeah. I remember the redneck girl.
They probably were a little smaller then.
See him in the picture, bro. Joyce has got him. I don't know if it's on my face page or not.
What's that town?
We're about 12 miles out from Merchants Road.
That's is that Oliver Springs?
We're 12 miles out from Merchants.
Yeah. That could be cool.